welcome back to another episode of Hudson's Highlights. What we do here on my channel is we discuss movies and TV shows and things within that space. So today will be another episode of movies and TV news. Not much in the verse of TV news, but there has been a few things that have dropped in the movie sphere for sure. If you guys weren't aware, this past week there was Cinemacom. And what Cinemacom is, for those who aren't aware, Cinemacom is really like a showcase for movie theater owners. What they do in that space is your what they're essentially trying to do is sell things to the theater owners, get the theater owners to purchase more merch like popcorn and candies and drinks, and um, IMAX showcases their new screens, and Adobe showcases their new audio sounds. And but what really happens for the fandom, for anyone who can afford a ticket and who can be so lucky to get one, I, of course, not so lucky as of yet. I do hope that one day I will be able to attend CinemaCon. It would be a great privilege of mine. But in the meantime, what happens at these showcases is that they show clips of movies, they present casts of movies. They show, in some cases, full footage of movies before they actually air on theater screens. And the reason for that is that they want to convince the theaters that this is a movie you want to put on as many screens as possible. And the theater owners, of course, are in control of how many screens each movie gets. So if you own, for example, an AMC theaters, and you have the option to showcase Superman, and you can put Superman on IMAX 3D, and digital, and you see the movie for yourself, and you decide, you know what, we're going to put it on all three screens 4 times a day. It's going to be a hit. Or if you watch it and you decide, honestly, we probably should showcase it for that first weekend, and then we'll reduce the screen footage or screen showings down to probably 2 or 3 screens per day, depending on how many hits we get. So it's really important for the movie producers or the production team for each movie to really give it their best foot forward here, because this is what's going to make the bread for you. This is where you convince your theater owners to invest heavily in showcasing your movie above others. So it's really a big deal. And a lot of the times, when you notice that we get these big trailer drops around this time of the year, it's not a coincidence. What's happening is, in the back end, CinemaCon has happened, and before they let it leak from CinemaCon, they'll go ahead and drop the trailer online, and then also drop that trailer subsequently in CinemaCon, usually with a few more things to boot. We'll get on our end just a normal trailer, and then they'll get a trailer plus sizzle reels. They'll get unedited footage. They'll get commentary from characters and stars on the movies. All that to convince the theater that this is where you want to spend your time. This is where you want to invest the most of your theater's screens into. But with that backstory down, and to no one's surprise, DC dropped a pretty extensive. So before I get into detail about what I'm doing here, I won't discuss things we can't see online, because for me, that'll be all hearsay. I don't want to give you, I heard from a guy who was at CinemaCon that they showed us this, and this, because we're all human and things can be confused. CinemaCon lasted for days, and there's no guarantee that what I'm giving you, of course, with it being a secondhand bit of information, will be true. And I don't want you to feel like I misled you. So anything I'm discussing on my show today will be what they've also already dropped online as a trailer. But I will say DC did drop a trailer, an extended version of the trailer we already saw for Superman. It is fantastic. um, we get that scene we got back at the Super Bowl with Superman calling for um, his dog and Crypto. And what happens is we get a little more interplay. We get to see Crypto being a dog. He gets called by his owner and he wants to play. He's diving at him, he's flying at him, he's not understanding that Clark is hurt. And it takes Clark a moment to get him to understand, hey, I called you for assistance here, not just to play. And just a really cool scene, really cool moment. Just showing you the like that I at least from my opinion, James Gunn knows what he's doing here. This is going to be a hit of a movie if we ever seen one. It does cut from that to some bots from Krypton that help him re-energize after what we presume is a fight that he lost, because they do tell us that he has some broken bones, ruptured organs. So whatever he fought that landed him close to the Fortress of Solitude wasn't something that he walked away as the victor. But all that being said, it was a fantastic trailer. We got a trailer for Tron Ares. I want to be honest, I get what they're going for here with Tron Ares, like two worlds colliding. And I watched the trailer again before I shot this video. And I'm just going to be honest, I feel like this is going to be one I have to just see for myself, because I don't know what they're doing with this movie. I don't, outside of the two worlds colliding idea, they haven't given us much, and it doesn't come out until October. So there's plenty of time to give us backstory, but I just don't know enough about this movie to be excited about it yet. I love the last one. I thought it was pretty interesting. I just don't know enough about this to be super, super, super excited. So I'm gonna hold my anticipation back for now for Tron Ares, Tron 3, and just see what they can give us um, as we get closer to the movie being actually shown in theaters. We did get a Lilo and Stitch trailer, as always, adorable. We get a lot more interplay between Lilo and Stitch, and just their connection and their bond and the way they interact with each other. Fantastic. I know I said it before, but the more they show of this movie, the more I'm fully convinced this is gonna be $1 billion film. 100%. There's no way it's not. It's adorable. It's endearing. Lilo is fantastic. Stitch is perfectly CGI'd. I just don't see how they can fail here unless this story is just crap. And so far, from what they've shown us, I don't think that would be the case. They did drop this movie called The Phoenician Scheme. Star-studded cast. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not interested. I'm not. I just don't like those movies where they give you this old style shooting of a film. I think there's better ways to approach filmmaking, and I just don't like that we're gonna shoot a movie like we're shooting it back in the '70s for you to watch in 2025. I feel like you can still shoot a movie with our aesthetic and give us the same story or the same narrative that you would have given us, regardless of which era you were shooting it in. So I watched the trailer, but I'm not. At this point, I have about 5% interest in that movie, and that is me being very, very, very um, generous, to say the least. There was. Hold on a second. Let me get this thing back up here. For some reason, it's actually from my pen again. Oh, Mission Impossible 8: The Final Reckoning. The trailer was actually awesome. Very action packed, very detailed, very actually about a 2.5 minute long trailer. So they really gave it its all to make this. And of course, in Tom Cruise fashion, he understands cinema. He understands what it takes to get theaters to buy in. I wouldn't be shocked this thing is not going to be shooting on like 3,000 screens in a theater just because Tom Cruise, he knows what he's doing. If you don't believe me, just look at his last few films. He was really at the helm of making those films successful. So I don't see this going any direction but up. The trailer was fantastic. Action, like I said, was fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not even a Mission Impossible fan, but with this being likely his last one, I'm probably going to give it a shot just because I want to see what he's able to do in his basically his own franchise and what he decides to do as a culmination of years of work. So looking forward to that. There were a few other small trailers dropped, but I did want to bring up there was a trailer for Havoc that dropped. And the reason why I'm bringing Havoc up, and I know that you're thinking, well, Netflix is doing Havoc, so why wouldn't you bring it up? Well, here's the problem. The reason why I wasn't going to talk about it initially is because Netflix doesn't make movies for theaters. So that's why this trailer dropped around Cinemacom, but I don't expect that they're going to give this a theatrical release. As a matter of fact, I know they're not. And they're just really using the hype of CinemaCon to bolster this movie on their streaming platform. And I disagree with Netflix's idea. The CEO, I think, is complete buffoon. This is a tried and true method. If you put the movie in the theater first, it is proven statistically it makes you more money. And I'm going to make a Hudson's Highlights episode, if not tomorrow, the day after, about um, Electric State. But in that episode, I'll dive more in detail about this problem. But Havoc's trailer looks fantastic, man. It looks great. It looks like a theatrical release movie. And I just don't understand why they are not giving this thing the bat that it deserves. I don't get it. I don't understand. If you're going to spend the money to go out and get Tom Hardy, if you're going to spend the money to go out and get Timothy Oliphant, Forrest Whitaker, if you're going to get all these big name characters, then why not put the money where your mouth is and put it on the big screen? Just don't understand it. And then, I have Netflix, so I'm going to watch it. And I'm sure most of you are going to watch it too. But with a movie that looks this good, wouldn't we all want to see it at an AMC IMAX screening first? And then if we're still interested in the movie, watch it on Netflix? I mean, I just don't understand it. But anyway, that was the last trailer that dropped this weekend or this week. As I mentioned before, I will be doing a review of Electric State. I'm also going to do a review of Craven. I know that most people didn't like that movie, but because I watched Electric State and I felt differently about it than the average person, I feel it's only fair for me to give that one a shot as well. I'm going to naturally be doing the two last episodes of Dead Ever Born Again tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments about what I've mentioned on today's segment, or maybe about a previous segment of my Hudson's Highlights episodes, please drop those in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Hudson's Highlights. Take care.